Hello everyone and welcome to edupediaworld.com. In today's class we are going to continue with unit 2, that is the accounting concepts, and this class we are going to study concept of matching, how matching concepts operate while preparing the financial statement, and how the three concepts, that is matching concept, periodicity concept and the accrual concept, work together, operate together simultaneously while preparing the financial statements. So let us start with the meaning and definition of matching concept, and then we'll see afterwards how the three concepts, that is matching concept, periodicity concept and the accrual concept, operates together. So let us start our class today. The definition of the matching concept says that all expenses matched with the revenue of that period should only be taken into consideration. It says that only those expenses should be taken into consideration for a definite period which matches with the revenue earned in that period. So the expense should match with the revenue of a particular period. If my period is suppose from 1st January to 31st December, I am earning whatever revenue I am earning in that period, I should take into consideration all the expenses incurred during that period which I have incurred for earning that revenue during that period. So the revenue earned during a particular period should be matched against the expenses incurred in that period. We'll be able to understand this concept in a more better way once we see one example. And in that example, we'll also see how the three concepts of matching, periodicity and accrual works together. Now in this concept only, the definition you can see the word period. So you can make out that it operates together with the periodicity concept. The periodicity concept told us that we have to prepare financial statement for a particular period in order to assess the performance of the business. So for any particular period, we have to prepare the financial statement. Now, for that particular period, if we are preparing any financial statement and we are recording revenues in that particular period, then we have to see that we have recorded all the matching expenses also along with those revenues, all the expenses which we have incurred in earning those revenues in that period. So this is what the matching concept says. We have to match all the expenses with the revenue which we have earned. Revenue can't be earned until and unless we incur some expenses. So whatever revenue we are earning, we have to see that what expenses we have incurred to earn that revenue, and we have to record those expenses also. This is called the matching concept. In the financial statements of the organization, if any revenue is recognized, then expenses related to earn that revenue should also be recognized. So this is what the matching concept says, that if we are recording any revenue, then we have to also record the expenses which we have incurred to earn that revenue. Now let us see some more points related to this concept, and then we'll see how the three concepts operate together. Now let us see some points related to this matching concept. This concept of matching is based on accrual concept. How? As it considers the occurrence of expenses and income and do not concentrate on actual inflow or outflow of cash. What we have learned in the accrual concept was we have to recognize the income and expenses as and when they occur, and we do not have to take into account when the cash is coming or going. This is what the accrual concept says. So this concept is also based on this concept only, because it says that we have to recognize all the revenue and all the expenses for a particular period, matching that revenue. So we do not take into account whether cash has been paid or cash has been received. We just have to recognize the revenue as and when we earn, and the expenses as and when we incur them. So this concept is based on the accrual concept. Now, this leads to adjustment of certain items like prepaid and outstanding expenses, unearned or accrued incomes. We have done in the previous class when we were doing the accrual concept what are prepaid and outstanding expenses and what are unearned and accrued incomes. So when we follow the accrual concept, we have to adjust these prepaid and outstanding things and earned and accrued incomes. So since the matching concept is based upon accrual concept, so these adjustments of prepaid and outstanding also comes under the matching concept, because we see that the matching concept is more or less based on the accrual concept only. These two concepts are similar only. Now, we study in this concept that we have to recognize all the expenses that we incur in relation to the revenue we earn. So now one more point is there. It is not necessary that every expense identify every income, because the matching concept is saying that whatever revenue we are earning, we have to recognize the related expense, the expense we have incurred for earning that revenue, that we have to recognize. Now it is saying that it's not necessary that every expense is identified with every income. Some expenses are directly related to the revenue, while some expenses are time bound. The expenses which are directly related to the revenue can be easily recognized and recorded, but the expenses which are time bound should also be recorded. And for example, we can say that what are the example of time bound expenses? The time bound expenses we can say are the salaries, the rent, etc., which we have to pay period after period for a particular period, say 1 month, 1 year, etc. So the selling expenses which are directly related to the sales can be easily identified and can be recorded, because they are matched with the revenue which we are earning. So they can be easily matched and can be recorded, while the time bound expenses such as rent and salaries are recorded on accrual basis for a particular accounting period. So these are also the expenses which we have to match with the revenue and have to record in the books of account for a particular accounting period. So now you see how the periodicity concept has come into play while applying the matching concept. The matching concept says that all the expenses which we have incurred for earning any revenue has to be recorded. Now, selling expenses we can directly relate with the sales, so we can easily identify them and record them. But you see that some expenses are not directly related with the sales but are time bound. And it is also that these expenses have also played their part in earning the revenue. If we wouldn't have paid salaries to the employees, we would not be able to do the particular amount of sales, or we do not have a particular place to do a business, then also we cannot earn revenues. So we have to pay rent for the premises and we have to pay salaries to the employees. If we do not pay these expenses, we will not be able to earn the revenue. So these also play an important part in earning the revenues of any business. So these also have to be matched with the revenue and have to be recorded in the books of accounts. But these are not directly related to the sales, but they are indirectly related to the sales. Though they are indirectly related, but they have to be recorded. So in this way, the periodicity concepts also come into play while applying the matching concept. Or we can say that these three concepts of accrual, periodicity and matching operates together only and not separately. Whenever we follow the accrual concept, we are following the periodicity and the matching concept automatically. We don't have to see, but automatically it applies. And whenever you are following the periodicity concept, automatically the matching and accrual concept will come into play. So these three concepts are interrelated and they cannot operate separately, but they have to operate together only. Now we'll see one example which will convey this operations, that how these concepts operate together and what is their significance. Now let us see this example which will depict that how these three concepts of periodicity, accrual and matching works together. This example will let you understand these concepts in a more better way, and it will also help you to understand that how these three concepts work together, and whenever we apply matching concept, automatically the periodicity and the accrual concept comes into play. What is the example saying? Let us see. Mr. PK started cloth business. So Mr. PK is a businessman and he has started a business of clothing. He purchased 10,000 pieces of garment at the rate of 100 per piece. So he has purchased 10,000 pieces of garments and each piece is costing rupees 100. So the total amount which he has to pay to the seller of the garments is 10,000 into 100, that is rupees 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs he has to pay to the person from whom he has purchased the garments. Now, he sold 8,000 pieces of garments at the rate of rupees 150 per piece during the accounting period of 12 months, that is 1st January to 31st December 2011. Now, he is selling the garments which he had purchased and he is able to sell 8,000 pieces at the rate of 150 per piece for the accounting period of 1st January to 31st December. So what is the amount which he will be receiving from the customers to whom he is selling the garments? It will be 8,000 into 150 and that is 12 lakh rupees. So he has to pay 10 lakh rupees to the person from whom he has purchased the garments and he has to receive 12 lakh rupees from the customers to whom he has sold the garments. Now, he paid shop rent at the rate of 3,000 per month for 11 months. He was doing his business in a shop which he has rented for rupees 3,000 per month, but he is able to pay only the rent for 11 months. So 11 into 3, that is 33,000 he has paid, but he is liable to pay the amount of 3,000 into 12, that is 36,000 he has to pay the shop rent for the whole year of accounting year of 1st January to 31st December 2011. Now it is given that he paid 8 lakh to the suppliers of the garment. He was liable to pay 10 lakhs, but he has only paid 8 lakhs during the period of 1st January to 31st December, and he received 10 lakhs from the customer. He is eligible to receive 12 lakhs for the sales that he has made, but he has received only 10 lakhs from the customers. So now let us see how the concepts of accrual, periodicity and matching will operate and how these points will be imbibed into one financial statement, how it will all be shown, how accrual concept will operate, how periodicity concept will operate, and how the matching concept will operate while we prepare the financial statement of Mr. PK. The periodicity concept fixes up the time frame for which the performance of any business is to be measured and the financial position is to be appraised. So we have learned in the periodicity concept that we divide the period of the business into some measurable period so that we can measure the performance of the business. So the periodicity concept fixes up the time frame. So here the time frame is January to December 2011. So all the revenues and expenses are to be measured for the year 2011 and the assets and liabilities are to be ascertained for the as on 31st December 2011. So here we can fix that the periodicity concept comes into play when we decide the time frame, and here the time frame is January to December. So all the revenues and expenses for the year 2011 are to be matched. We will match only those revenues and expenses which we have incurred for the year 2011. So this is how the matching concept is imbibed in the periodicity concept. Now, accrual concept operates to measure the revenue of 12 lakh, that is 8,000 pieces into 150, which accrued during 2011 and not the cash received, that is 10 lakh. and also the expenses correctly. Shop rent for 12 months is an expense item amounting to 36,000, not 33,000 the cash paid. So in the accrual concept, we have learned that we have to recognize all the revenues and expenses which we have earned or incurred during the particular period and not the cash which we have received or paid during that period. So here you can see that Mr. PK has earned the revenue of rupees 12 lakh, but he received only rupees 10 lakh. But we will take into account the total amount of 12 lakh for measuring the profit of Mr. PK and not the amount of rupees 10 lakh which is the cash he received. How accrual concept will apply in one more thing is the shop rent. Mr. PK is paying the rent of rupees 3,000 per month for 11 months only, but in reality he is liable to pay the rent for 12 months because the year is comprising of 12 months. So he is liable to pay 36,000 for the whole year, but he is only paying 33,000. That is not our concern. Whatever he is paying, we will take into account what he is liable to pay. So we will take into account the whole amount of 36,000 which he is liable to pay in the period of 1 year, that is from January to December. So this is how the periodicity, matching and the accrual concept will work, and these will be applied to measure the performance of the business and to measure the financial position of the business. Now, should the accountant treat rupees 10 lakh as expense for the purchase of merchandise? And should he treat 1,64,000 as profit, that is the revenue of 12 lakh, deducting the merchandise expense of rupees 10 lakh, and from that deducting the shop rent for the whole year, that is 36,000. So the profit he is getting is 1,64,000. But this is not the profit which is to be recorded. As we know, and as the matching concept says, the revenues are to be linked with the expenses and the expenses are to be linked with the revenues. So we will take into account for calculating the profit only that expense which can be matched with the revenue. As we see that he purchased 10,000 pieces and he sold 8,000 pieces. So the remaining 2,000 he is not able to sell in that 1 year, and that 2,000 is his inventory. So we will not take the expense of those 2,000 merchandise for calculating the profit for the year. Why? Because we cannot match the expense of those 2,000 with the revenue. The revenue is only for the 8,000 pieces sold. So we have to take into account only the expense of 8,000 of the merchandise purchased in order to follow the matching concept, which says that the revenues are to be matched with the expenses. So here the accountant cannot take rupees 10 lakh as the expense of merchandise. Rather, he has to take only the expense which has been incurred in relation to the revenue, that is the expense of 8,000 pieces. And what is the expense of 8,000 pieces? 8,000 into 100, that is rupees 8 lakh. So the profit will be calculated as revenue of rupees 12 lakh minus the merchandise expense, that is the matched merchandise expense of rupees 8 lakh, and minus the periodic expense, that is the shop rent 36,000, and then we get the correct profit. So the matching concept says that the periodic revenue minus the matched expenses. We have to take the revenue and we have to take the expense which are matching with the revenues, and we have to take the expense which are periodic. Then only we'll get the profit amount. So from the revenue of an accounting period, such expenses are deducted which are expended to generate the revenue to determine profit of that period. Okay, we have to just deduct those expenses which are matched with the revenue which are incurred in relation to that revenue. So in the given example, The revenue relates to only sale of 8,000 pieces of garments. So the cost of 8,000 pieces of garment should be treated as expenses and not the full 10 lakh rupees. So how the profit is calculated by applying the matching concept you can see in this example. And in the next slide you will see how the profit statement and the financial position of the business can be ascertained using these three concepts of matching, accrual and periodicity. Now you know how these three concepts operate together simultaneously. Now, using the matching concept, the periodicity concept and the accrual concept, we can know how much profit the business has earned, and also we can know the financial position of the business, that is what assets the business is having and what liabilities the business is owing. So these three concepts helps us in preparing the income statement, that is the profit and loss statement, and helps us in knowing the financial position of the business by preparing the balance sheet. So let us see first of all the income statement, that is how the profit is calculated based on these three concepts. As we have seen in the previous slide, the revenue is rupees 12 lakh. How? 8,000 pieces we have sold at the rate of rupees 150 in 1 year. So in that year the revenue will be 8,000 into 150, that is rupees 12 lakhs. In this revenue we have to deduct the expenses which we have incurred in earning this revenue. And by applying the matching concept, we deduct the expenses of the merchandise sold. And what are the expenses? The expenses are 8,000 into 100. How? We purchased 10,000 pieces, and but we are deducting only 8,000 because of the matching concept. We have to match the expense with the revenue. Since we are taking the revenue of only 8,000 pieces, we will take the expense of 8,000 pieces only, and we will not take the expense of full 10,000 pieces. This is how the matching concept operates. We have to match the expense with the revenue. Then only we can get the correct profit for 1 year. So from 12 lakh revenue, we will deduct the expense of 8,000 pieces of merchandise, and that comes to 8,000 into rupees 100 per piece, that is rupees 8 lakh. Now, second comes the periodic expenses. We have to deduct the periodic expense, the expense which we have incurred for the full year and which are fixed. Unlike the matched expenses, these expenses have to be paid because they are incurred for the whole year. And what is that? And that is the shop rent. You have to pay rent for the shop for whole 1 year, and that is also our expense. So we have to deduct that from the revenue in order to get the correct profit. And what was the rent? The rent for the whole year was 36,000. It was 3,000 per month. So for 12 months it was 36,000. So the total expense comes up to 8 lakh plus 36,000, that is 8 lakh 36,000. So now you see how the matching and the periodicity concept has operated in order to find out the profit for a particular year for any business. We deduct this 8 lakh 36,000 from rupees 12 lakhs, and the profit we get is 3 lakh 64,000. Now this is how the income is calculated. Next comes the financial position of the business. What is the financial position of the business at the end of 1 year? When the business has operated for 1 year now, how the business has done and where the business is standing at the end of 1 year. The financial position means the assets and liabilities of the business. What are the assets which the company has, owns, and what are the liabilities which the company owes to the third parties. So, assets are, number one is the inventory. What is inventory? Inventory is the unsold merchandise. We had purchased 10,000 pieces and we had sold only 8,000 pieces. So the remaining 2,000 pieces is our inventory, is our stock. So that will be our asset. Business owns after 1 year, at the end of 1 year, is 2000 pieces of merchandise, and the value of one piece is rupees 100. The total is 2000 pieces into 100 is equals to 2 lakh rupees. Second comes trade receivables, that is debtors. We had sold 8,000 pieces at the rate of rupees 150, so our total revenue was 12 lakhs. But it was given in the question that we had received only rupees 10 lakhs till the end of the year. So the remaining 2 lakhs is our trade receivables, that is the amount which we will receive in the next year. That is our trade receivables, the debtors, which we are likely to receive in the coming year. And this is our one more asset. Now after inventory and trade receivables comes the very common, very normal asset, that is cash. What cash we are holding at the end of the year, and how that will be calculated? Very easy. We'll deduct the payments from the receipts. Cash receipts minus the cash payments. We had received 10 lakhs for the sales we had made. That is our cash receipts. And we had paid 8 lakhs for the merchandise that we had purchased. So that will be deducted, plus 33,000 shop rent we had paid for the whole year. Though we were required to pay 36,000, but we did not pay 3,000 and we had paid 33,000. So the total cash payments are 8 lakhs 33,000. So cash receipts 10 lakh minus cash payments of 8 lakh 33,000 is 1 lakh 67,000. That is the cash with us. So these are the three assets with the company. What are they? Inventory 2 lakhs, trade receivables 2 lakhs, and the cash, liquid cash of rupees 1,67,000. So the total assets which the company is owning at the end of the 1 year is 5,67,000. Now we have to see what are the liabilities which the company is owing to the third parties, which the company is liable to pay. The liabilities are the owings that the company owe to the third parties. Now what are those? It has to be seen that the assets which the company own and the liabilities which the company owes are always equal. That is why it is called a balance sheet. The financial position is depicted in a balance sheet. And why it is called a balance sheet? Because the assets are balanced with the liabilities. So this is how we can know where we are going wrong, if the assets are not matching with the liabilities. The assets has to match anyhow with the liabilities, and if they are not matching, it means we have committed some mistake. So now let us see what are the liabilities of the business. Trade payables, the opposite of trade receivables. Which trade receivables are the receivables that we are to receive in the coming year, and trade payables are the payables which we have to pay. We were required to pay in this year, but we have delayed the payment and we pay in the next year. So the merchandise which we had purchased were for rupees 10 lakh, but we had paid only rupees 8 lakh. So rupees 2 lakh is our payables which we are required to pay to the vendor in the coming year. So that is our payable, our liability. Next is the expense payable, that is the shop rent. We were required to pay 36,000 for the whole year, but we only paid 33,000. So the remaining 3,000 is payable and which we have to pay in the coming year, which we were required to pay in this year, but we didn't. So this becomes our liability to pay in the next year. So this is the expense payable of rupees 3,000. And lastly, the capital. The capital includes the profit also. Capital basically means the investment in the business. Here in this question, the investment is not given. Therefore, we'll only include the profit. What profit did the business earn? Because profit is added up in the capital of the business, the investment which the owner makes in the business. So since it is not given here the capital, we only include the profit. And what was the profit? It was 3,64,000 as we have calculated above. So when we add up these three liabilities, it comes up to 5,67,000. So now you see both the asset side and the liability side has balanced. Asset side is also 5,67,000 and the liability side is also 5,67,000. So this is how the income statement is prepared and the financial statement is prepared with the help of matching concept, accrual concept and the periodicity concept. So these three concepts are very, very important in the subject of accounting. So at the end of this example, we can say that the accrual concept, the matching concept and the periodicity concept work together for income measurement and recognition of assets and liabilities. Previous example, you did see how the income was calculated based on three concepts and how the assets and liabilities were recognized based on these three concepts. So this is how these three concepts work together for measurement of income and recognition of assets and liabilities. Thank you, students. Hope you have understood this concept of matching and simultaneously the other two concepts, accrual and periodicity, how they work together. And now you'll be able to solve the questions put upon you based on these three concepts. Thank you.